What is up, my YouTube people? We are here today kicking it with Frogberto, our Phyllobates terribilis golden dart frog. Look at this guy, he's cool. Cool as a cucumber, he's not even scared of me. These guys are so cool. So we got him and then a bunch of smaller ones running around in here now. I don't know. Yeah, the smaller ones are a lot more shy, but update on the dart frogs, I guess. They are doing great. They're super fun to watch hang out in here and hop around and eat food. And then I also want to give you guys an update on the fish. Look at this. Look at these arowana. They're like bigger than my arm now. They're getting massive. You can see old stingray over here. The bass are getting big too. I bet you he's hiding somewhere, but oh no, this is him right here. This is my big male. It probably doesn't look as big on video, but I bet you he's like a 5-pound bass now. He's probably 20, 22 inches. So they are getting massive. But let me give you an update on the work we've been doing and what we're gonna do today. So we've been working on stuff here and there. I kind of got this false tree back here done, or at least done for now. So I got this branch mounted. It's kind of just hanging from the steel cable, but we hid this steel cable with sphagnum moss so it would look good. But now I got plants mounted on it. These are some mini orchids, all these, and then this is a philodendron insigne, but it's an insigne purple because it grows these awesome backsides of the leaves are bright purple. I think this thing turned out super good, but this kind of will give you an idea of how I'm gonna build the false trees and what they're gonna look like. I'm planning on building a much bigger one over in the middle somewhere with big branches that come all the way across the boardwalk. So that will be super awesome. That is probably gonna be one of the next big projects. But today we're kind of doing some winter work. It's getting cold here in Utah. It's getting down well below freezing at night, you know. So we already broke down the wet wall system, so I'm not gonna show that. We just drained the water pipes and put away the pumps and everything for the winter in the water reservoir. Today, we are gonna remove the shade cloth so we can use the solar energy. So we'll show you that soon, but that'll help heat the greenhouse and give more light for the plants, because really we only get like 6 hours of light here. It's dark at like 5 o'clock now, so the plants like 12 hours of light. So we're gonna give them as much as we can by removing this shade cloth. And then the other thing we're gonna do, I mentioned that it gets dark at like 5 o'clock now, which is really annoying. I get home from work at like 6, so I'm over here trying to take care of stuff in the dark every night. And it does not give me much time to work on projects on the weekends. So we're installing some of these LED shop lights up in the roof of the greenhouse. That way when I come over in the evening, I can turn on the lights and keep working on stuff and check on animals and do all that. So yeah, that means I got to get up on the sketchy ladder again. Sketchy ladder, balancing, all weird. So super excited for that. But once we get the lights done, that gives me more time to work, and then we can work on more awesome projects like this. So I'm gonna go play with my dart frog friends.
Please remain seated.
Okay, so I mentioned we're gonna put in the shop lights. So I'm not sponsored by any of these companies or anything. I'm not getting free products. These are just what I did based off my research and what I've used in the past. But these are Barina shop lights. I like Barina stuff. It's very affordable, like super affordable compared to other options. And I use a lot of their grow lights for my plants at home and everything, and they work really good. So sticking with this brand. But these shop lights are awesome. They come in different lengths, all the way up to 8 feet. They're super bright. They're just LED strips inside. They're super lightweight. And then they're cool because all the different lights, you can get as many as you want, and then they daisy chain together. So let me show you. They got these little connectors. So you just stick that in the end here, like that. And then the other lights will hook together. And then you only need one power cord to run. I don't know how many you can run off one, but more than I need to run. So that way you only got one spot where you got to plug it in. Or if you want the lights spaced out, they also have these cords, same deal, plug it in, and then this plugs into the other light. And then they have a super easy way of mounting as well. So they just got these little metal clips. You just screw those up onto wherever. and then the light just clips into that. So little metal clips, light clips in like that, and the lights are super lightweight, so that's going to hold them no problem. So like I said, I'm not doing anything crazy complicated here. I'm just trying to get some lights for function so I can still work on stuff and take care of stuff in the evening throughout the winter. And yeah, so the other thing, I should wire up like a switch and a new outlet out there, but I already have a couple outlets for the geothermal, but I don't want to wire up a switch. I don't want this to be a whole weekend project. I just want to get some lights real quick. So I just got these Govee smart plugs, and I'm going to plug those in to those. I've had super good luck with Govee products in the past. I use like their humidifiers and little thermometer hygrometers, and everything is done super well in the greenhouse for me. So I'm going to stick with these ones. But that way I can just turn it on and off from my phone. I don't have to climb up there and hit a power switch, and I don't have to wire up and run new conduit and all that. So let's get these installed, see if I can not fall off a ladder, and then go from there. All right, we got the lights all installed, but we will see how they work a little bit more later when it's actually dark outside. So now we're getting ready to take the shade cloth off. Remember, I have the whole greenhouse wrapped in 50% shade cloth, but during the winter, the days are so short that we think it's gonna be better to have it off. So we're gonna take it off. Pretty simple. Remember, we just used this wiggle wire channel to hold on the plastic and the shade cloth. So it's this little, just gotta get the end started. I hate this stuff, it hurts my fingers. But you just grab this, and then you just wiggle her out, and that's pretty much how it's attached all the way around. So we're gonna go take this out all the way around, take the shade cloth out, fold it up, and then we're gonna go work on some stuff in there, maybe mount some plants. We will see. All right, no more shade cloth for the winter. I forgot how nice the greenhouse looks without the shade cloth. Looks much cleaner, but this should help with the plants and heating a lot. So we got some extra time. Let's go inside real quick and see if we can mount some plants and some more driftwood that we got. Is it good? Okay, so I got this philodendron pulchrum. This thing will grow pretty similar to how this insigne does. They grow epiphytically in the wild, except instead of being like all leaf from the base out, it'll have these little stems and then a big oval shaped leaf sticking off. But they look really cool growing on the side of trees. So I think we are gonna mount it to the side of this big tree somewhere, but I don't know, we need to look around and see. Yeah, probably somewhere on the back side of this. And then we also got some more driftwood from our friends at the waterfront. These little pieces we think would look cool in the ground, make them look like roots kind of coming up out of the ground. But so we're gonna mess with those, see if we can do something. But let's get that plant mounted real quick. I'll show you guys how we do it. So I got our plant here, I unpotted it, and then I actually cut off a couple of these bottom leaves. They were like down here, and I need this root ball kind of exposed so I can put moss around it. So basically the idea is you put a small layer of moss, tie it down with fishing line, and then you put the plant with a bunch of moss around it and tie that down with fishing line, and then eventually the plant will root to the wood or the surf, whatever the surface is itself, and you can cut the fishing line off, but or you can just leave it on. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just using this little fluorocarbon or monofilament fishing line. Doesn't really matter. Just don't get anything super thin so you're not like cutting the plant's roots. But yeah, so oh yeah, and you can, like, depending on what you have, you just wrap the line all the way around it and tie it tight. But I don't want to wrap the line all the way around this tree and have it be up here in the front where it's ugly. So what I did is I pounded in a few nails back here. So I got a few nails like this, and I'm just gonna like zigzag the line across to hold it. So we want the plant right here. Probably going to be hard to see, but you'll be able to tell more when it's all done. So let's figure out how I'm going to do this. I'm going to tie this little piece here probably, or I'm just going to tie a little loop, I guess. Well, I'm already struggling with this, so it's gonna be fun. Oh, no. Okay. We're getting there. Okay, so I got it started here on this now. And then I will grab me a handful of moss. And this is just long fiber sphagnum moss. You don't need a lot. You just want a nice little base on there to start. Gives the plant something to root in, keeps the roots wet. So I get a little bit right about there where I want it. Just kind of hold it in place. And then start wrapping the fishing line. Might do a little bit more. Oh Lord, that's not good. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more actually, because this thing's got a pretty big root ball. Probably something, spread this out, something like that. And just wrap it all over so it's held in place. Doesn't need to be crazy tight or anything. And this is the tricky part. I gotta get my plant, figure out how I want it positioned. So, this is kind of tricky. Probably like that. Get a big old handful of moss around that. And then don't worry about dropping moss all over, you know, it happens. It's just part of the game. And then we zigzag her around. Okay, now you can see I got a bunch of roots here. So I need to get those covered in moss, but I at least got it held for now. Grab me, it's kind of tricky. Should have put the moss closer to me. So where do I need it? Right here. And then we'll do some little zigzags. You know, I'm just gonna go over it a bunch. And I'm just kind of going around making sure the moss is everywhere that I want it. I don't want too many roots drying out and dying. I need the top held in better here. And you want to make sure that there's moss in between the fishing line and the plant, because the string will cut in, or the fishing line will cut into the plant quite a bit. So and that is probably good. So I'm going to cut this down here, deal with that piece I dropped later. Dropped right on my favorite biophyte, so that's awesome. Tie this on up. Easier said than done. Just pull it till she's snug, and then tie it one more time to be safe. And that should be good. Cut the extra off. Ooh. Oh no, that's good. Okay, and that is how it's done. So let me see the camera real quick. It's scary now that I got the frogs in here. I have to like make sure I'm not stepping on frogs when I'm walking around. So it's a much more difficult process than it used to be. Yeah, that's what it looks like all mounted up. Looks pretty good. We'll see how the growth starts But if this piece starts growing weird or trailing up too much, I may cut this or cut it, yeah, right here somewhere, so it gets new growth here. But we're gonna leave it alone and let it root and get nice and healthy for now. All right, today has been a productive day, but we want to see if the lights work. So it's starting to get dark outside. We weren't patient enough to wait until it's all the way dark, so let's see how they work. Holy crap. Yeah, it's very bright in here, so they work great. Yeah, well, this actually isn't too bright. This would be nice if we were working in here in the evening and stuff. Yeah, so this looks great. We have lights now. We can work later in the evenings, and yeah, I'm very happy about that. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to see more awesome videos like this and see the progression of the greenhouse. We're getting some geckos soon, get more animals, more plants. You know the deal. Subscribe to the channel. Do it, or else.